No, we have a chance to look at the minutes.
I have made a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I will second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. While we're doing that, I would entertain a motion to pay the account payable claim.
I'll make a motion we pay.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Same on the payroll claim.
Make a motion.
I will second.
A motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Sheriff, what have you got today?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Sheriff.
I have my monthly report. Last month, possession of methamphetamine was number one charge with 21 charges. OWI was called close to second, and then district revoked. We're currently at 55 inmates this morning. We had a low last month, 34, and a high at 61. We had 37 transports to and from court. I have to get the mill money. My guy gets back. Too late. Richard, you never wrote too quick.
What?
He's in room 22.
The admin, 228.
Yeah.
Just read that.
Okay. I talked to him on
You
the
did.
phone last night. That sounds pretty good. Hopefully he'll heal up. We need to keep him in our prayers for sure.
That's all I have for this morning, Judge.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Anderson. What have you got today?
Morning, Commissioners. Orange County Highway crews continue to work on some road prep for paving this summer. District One's been working on County Road 25 North, Jerry Foose Road in French Lake Township. District 2 has been working on 350 West, Log Creek Road in Paley Township. District 3 has been working on County Road 475 West, Rodney Hager Road in Orangeville Township. Have an application here for casino funds, the amount of $100,000 for part of the match for the 2025-1 CCMG. We had discussed this back last fall with the county council, just needed to officially get it ran through the meeting. I also need permission from the commissioners to approach county council for an additional $67,000 from the highway restricted for the remainder of the match for the 2025-1 CCMG. This will complete the match for the $1.5 million grant. I do have that application with me. You guys want to consider it right now?
Thank you, gentlemen. I went to the council meeting, I think it was back in November of last year, and got a verbal on this, so we're just going through the formal process now.
I'll make a motion that we approve the casino application sent to the county council.
I will second.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And then, I need a motion on the restricted fund. He's wanting to get the, what was the amount on that?
67,000.
67,000, that was the rest of that grant. Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Recently found out that NDOT did not add the new airport road to our road inventory. So I've been working with USI Consultants on getting that added as quickly as we can since we found out about it. I have a letter that Richard needs to sign that certifies that this road has been accepted by Orange County as a county road. The 911 has broken this into two different sections. There's County Road 290 South, which comes off State Road 145 for 3,950 feet. That's the first segment. The second segment is called County Road 970 West. That's for 6,380 feet, which ties into the old airport road.
So will we have to change any signage? Okay.
I do have this letter that is going to be emailed to NDOT that needs Richard's signature on it, certifying that you guys have accepted that as a.
And I think we did years ago when NDOT took it,
Yes.
or we took it over, so. I'll make a motion that we approve.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I have one more thing, the older Bobcat Mini that we have. The hours are coming up on it to trade it in, to take it in the program that we are. It's approaching the 500-hour cap, so I'm asking permission to trade that in for the new one. I have money budgeted for this. I don't have to seek any approval on extra funds. It's budgeted. I just need your guys' approval to trade that in on that program that we're.
Okay, what's the number on that?
It's $20 a machine hours. It'll just be whatever the hours are when we go to make the trade. We're got 460 some hours on it right now, so we're approaching that 500-hour cap.
Did you budget this specifically to do that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we have these 3 machines in this program. We traded in the 500-hour cap, so it's $10,000, max.
I know we did, I was just trying to think of it, but we had the one.
We don't, I mean, it's already appropriated.
Yes. Yeah, I budgeted for it in last year's budget.
Okay. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion and second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Going forward, I'll ask your guys' guidance on this. We have 3 machines that we're doing this to now. Do you want me to come to you every time we're getting ready to approach that cap and run this through? Or since we're in this program and we know that this is what we're gonna do because I'm gonna have it plugged into the highway budget every year, does this need to be?
I think we should, just for transparency.
I think I think even if it's budget, I think we need to from you.
Continue then?
I think it's a great program and
Oh,
we're keeping
yeah.
up on our,
There's several other counties. I was at a conference last Thursday in Carmel, and there's several other counties. We're talking amongst ourselves. There's several counties that are enrolled in this program that have more equipment in it than we used to do, but yeah, it's working out well. That's all I have this morning.
Okay, just want to mention, thanks for keeping us out of the jams like I had to in Washington County. What a mess that was. I think they've got it resolved. I think they would have headed back to the low bidder. All right. We do not have the maintenance director here today. He is meeting some folks out at the factory to get some things accomplished that needed to be done. Rick, what have you got today?
Good morning. I've just got a couple updates on the FEMA project that's been going on in the county. The governor did sign the disaster declaration and sent it on to FEMA Region 5. Still kind of be up in the air what they end up doing. It's kind of a mess at the federal level right now. There is a Saul Strauss grant opportunity to be coming up. I was approached by one of the conservation officers about potential of maybe getting some assistance for them in wetsuits when they do water rescues here in Orange County. So this looked like it would be a possibility of a funding source. And to get your all's permission to apply for that. It'll open in July.
Where will this go to? The DNR?
Yeah, the way I see it, we would operate it just like we're doing with the VHF radios. Technically, we could make them sheriff's department or EMA equipment that will just be assigned them to those COs that are actually in our county. So it'd be Connor and Hunter.
So the scuba equipment would actually be a sign out from your office?
Yes, that's the way I would recommend doing it. That way, it's Orange County equipment. If they get reassigned to a different county, the equipment stays here. So the new officer coming in, we would have that equipment.
I just want to make sure we've got a clear trail for any paperwork situation.
that can be a problem when you're done.
Yeah. Okay, motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Okay, the other opportunity is through Walmart. I need to get a little more information from them. I don't have a good grasp of how their not-for-profit program works, but I'd like to kind of talk with the store manager, and as long as it's not gonna be a match deal, I would like permission to be able to pursue and fund possible funding from them as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even see a problem ever if there's an opportunity for something we need with a match, as long as you come to us and, we run it through us and the council, I think it's over, I mean, if it's something we're gonna need anyway, I think we always need to be, grants are drying up, and I think even if it's a
Absolutely.
match kind of situation, we need to pursue anything, just talk to us, obviously, before you do it.
Yes, well, I mean, I'm always gonna come to you ahead of time and ask for permission to apply for anything, but I'm kind of reluctant to go too far out on that limb if there's a match involved. Then I gotta know where I'm gonna be able to find that money for the match.
Mhm.
Cause I don't like to walk in and just say, hey, I got a problem, how are you gonna pay for it? I won't be able, here's how we can work it out. The other thing is the Regional Fire Training Center. We've been informed that the Chrisney build site is being delayed. I think the state contractors had some labor issues, which indirectly is gonna reflect on us. We're gonna be delayed as well. They were saying the fourth week of this month, which would be next week, I believe, and that's not gonna happen. So, we're ready, the site prep, everything's ready. We're waiting on the contractors, so now it's on the state, but it's on their side that things have been delayed. So I just wanted y'all to be aware of that.
I drove up there yesterday. It looks like the site, the roadway, yeah, is really stabilized.
Yeah, roadways became very solid. We've got plenty of room going all the way around for fire trucks and cranes and apparatus to come in. So they've done a lot of good work. Again, commend County Highway, commend the firemen that's came up there and donated their time and their work to be up there as well. So it's been a good effort. But that's all I have.
Questions?
I guess we just need to make a motion to approve.
For the
him
Walmart
pursuing The
program.
Walmart.
I mean, we discussed it, but we didn't make a
Well, I
motion.
agree with what you said. Anything you can find grant wise, pursue it and bring us the information and we'll go from there. I don't think you need our permission to pursue that kind of stuff. Dig them out and,
Be proactive.
yeah. I don't think so. I think you would. Okay.
Thank you.
That's all you have, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. I tell you what, we've got three gentlemen here that we're gonna do a contract with.
Okay.
On the warehouse. Let's go ahead and do that so they can go about their day.
Sure. I have the most recent version of the lease agreement. There were changes to page 2, landlord consents to tenant stacking light scrap boxes less than 500 pounds, each up to 5 high. Tenant placing 6 storage trailers in north lot, tenant having 1 cat on its premises, tenant's use of 2 small wooden storage buildings for offices. This is a lease agreement by and between Orange County, Indiana and Shaw Plastics for the 46,000 square feet in the northeast area of the square foot building located at 1352 West Hospital Road, Paoli, Indiana. Term is from June 16th, 2025 until June 15th, 2028 to extend on a month-to-month basis thereafter. And we have the amount of rent at $12,500 per month. Any other changes to the lease agreement?
No, I've got the email and I checked it and everything else looks satisfactory to me.
Okay, and are you with Shaw Plastics?
Yes.
Okay, and it was agreeable to you guys?
Yes.
All right, so we will need a motion to approve and everyone signs this.
Motion to approve the new lease.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
I will have you guys sign 2, and then could you guys also sign these, and you'll get one and we'll keep one?
We have a signed copy.
Could you sign the one that is signed by landlord?
Sure.
Okay. I'll have you guys sign first. All right, thank you. Thank you. Just because I know this is the one that has the changes in it, that's what I'm doing this way.
date?
No, I'll do the date.
Okay.
And then one more. Thank you. All right, perfect, thank you. Pass that down for you, son. Please sign 2. Sandy will. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And then if you wait for just a moment, I'll give you all a copy of that.
And do you have an email when you want to receive back on these, or?
They have our email. you guys have, Tucker has our email. If you'll just send me that email address, that'd be fantastic. Yes, and thank you.
I'll forward it.
Perfect.
I don't have it right here. I was thinking it was in there.
Oh, we get Sandy to sign it. Go on the back page with me, Sandy. and get to that point.
Seth, our maintenance guy, matter of fact, was out there today with the overhead board people.
Boys gonna wander out that way.
All right, he should be out there.
Get keys from him
I signed
or?
that second one.
Yes, he's supposed to have the keys for you.
Did I sign that second one?
Oh.
He either got them or he's getting them.
That's fine.
I'll make sure you guys sign
You
it.
said 4 keys, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think I did.
The fence, or the gate that's over the driveway,
One for them.
Yeah. is gone. Can we put a lock on it and share the
Sign
keys with you guys?
It's gone. The gate is already gone.
Oh, the gate, okay,
He took it out.
okay.
So, it's got, we got that fire training center up there on the right-hand side. And
Well, we
would you
were,
prefer a gate to be there?
we wasn't against, well, we wasn't against the idea of having one there.
Okay.
I think it makes sense for people not wandering around behind the building over there, and who knows what they would do, but,
We don't have an issue with it if you'd rather do that. We just did it for expediency.
well,
Yeah.
we'd be coming, going every morning and unlocking it, and locking it back in the evenings. Be glad to give you guys keys if it's not a hindrance. If it's a hindrance, then that's not a problem to us.
All right, Carl. You have them bring it back. I can set it just slides down on. Post.
The
I already
easiest
had
thing
an
to
app
do
somewhere
there
else.
would be just add your lock.
Okay, we can do
There you
that.
go.
So there'd be, you have a key, you can open your lock.
That's more than fine.
The town's got a key and they can open theirs.
Very good.
That one. Thank you.
All right, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you
gentlemen.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We look forward to it.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have
a
a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good luck there. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Retard on.
All right, we're about to speed on this. We have been looking for additional leaser on this building, and we found a fellow to come and do that. So we presently have about 120,000 feet of that building occupied. So it's a great help to the taxpayers. Total we're going to be bringing in about 30,000 a month on that building, which means the taxpayers will not, and haven't to this point. We've been bringing in 19,000 a month on that for the last few years, and this is going to drive us up to about 30,000. So it's going to make that building totally self-sustaining. And we have insurance obligations on it. We have gas, electric, and all those kinds of things. But still, even at that, I think our bond payment's $172,000, I believe, a year. This building now with this new lease is going to be bringing in close to $400,000 a year. So, we wanted the building for the future growth of the county, and as things turned out, the pandemic and things like that, it made it unaffordable at this point in time to go to the taxpayers and ask for that kind of money. So we thought the best thing we could do was to get it occupied and let it carry itself, let it carry its own weight. So that's what we've done. There's been naysayers in the past, why did you buy that thing, blah, blah, blah. Well, we had a plan, but the plan kind of got deep sixed by the pandemic and costs, construction costs. So at any rate, we have done our best to keep it off the taxpayers' backs. And we have the cooperation with the council. So we're buying this thing initially, and it's really worked out well for us.
Well, and not only that, it's generating income, but it also property tax, because anyone that leases it pays property taxes as well. So it's on the tax roll.
And presently, that's somewhere in the neighborhood of $15,000 a year. We're paying property taxes over and above their lease costs. So anyway, we feel good about that. Hopefully, the taxpayers will feel good about it as well.
I'd like to see, Richard, and I know I talked to you and Steve a little bit, but I'd like to see, we look at having a separate line item that, for that building with what's going out and what's being brought in.
I think we worked, we fixed different account numbers. Anything that's paid for or expenditures from that building has its own separate account number, so we can already look for that.
Cause I think, obviously we're bringing in more than what we're spending, and I mean, obviously if we can retire the debt on the building early, that's valuable as well.
And we've also talked about the community center as well. I think any building that the county has revenue coming on, we need to keep a pretty close watch on where it's at and what our bottom line is. If there's any requirements for raising costs, or raising rents, or whatever else.
But I mean, when it's all said and done, didn't we estimate right now it's generating about $150,000 more than what we're paying out? Or will?
Will.
Yeah.
Somewhere in
From now
somewhere
on,
in that neighborhood.
that's-
We don't have
that's
those
great.
numbers cut and dry yet, but that should be the case.
That's a
Okay.
good thing.
Valerie, you're up.
Last time we were here, we presented the grant with the 2024, certifications and assurances. Well, NDOT has now put out the 2005, or 2025. And so they want it signed and uploaded.
Okay.
Just your signature and,
I have not looked at it, no. Thanks.
Probably boilerplate, but
yeah.
JC always says
We
they
have
won't
hard
change
things to do.
anything anyway.
we get in trouble when we sign something without our attorney.
Yeah, maybe I can say that.
You may have it. Probably go through the trash.
I learned it's altering
Yes.
now.
Yeah, this is acceptable, thank you.
Okay. And this will be the page to sign.
I'll make a motion that, does Richard want to sign?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that Richard sign.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
One place?
Yeah, just one place.
All right.
And then Lynn signs her place.
Thank you.
So they can have more papers. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
You have anything?
I have no report.
I'm looking for elected officials here.
No report.
Davey, anything else you want to add? All right. I think that catches everybody. Add the roster, please. Oh, that's it on here. We're way ahead of me. Dan McDonald, you're up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Got 2 quotes here for you guys to review.
Sure.
Thank you. I snuck one in on you. I originally told you guys 1 quote, so. Another one to take a look at. So on the top, we have the, if you look at project, it should say FortiMail email security. This quote is for renewal of the FortiMail email security system. And the email security system from FortiMail, the county's been using now for 3 years. And we've seen a dramatic reduction in the amount of phishing email since implementation. Matter of fact, the reports that I get for phishing emails are from the Nova4 platform that we put up for training. So that's good. That's what we want. We've scared everyone from clicking links now, so we're doing our job, I feel like, for that part of things. But this is the advanced email protection that, like I said, the county has been using for 3 years. This is a 3-year renewal because we will be up for renewal in October of 30. So for 72 mailboxes, and it would be co-term, so you're not gonna lose any time. We just want to get this out there, put it in front of you guys so that you can take a look at it and decide if you wanna.
What are the two?
Oh, so the second one, is the firewall renewal. Yeah, that is
Just for the sheriff, okay.
Yeah, this is for the sheriff's department. The Florida Mail is for all county offices. It affects all the county mailboxes. The firewall on the second quote is for the sheriff's department, which we call it the sheriff's department firewall. It's the firewall for downstairs. It controls the internet. So it's more of an infrastructure piece, not necessarily for just one office. It controls dispatch, booking, and that is a critical piece of hardware. The renewal for that is advanced replacement, advanced support. If we have a problem with it, we can get immediate 1-day shipping renewal. If that device fails for any reason, highly recommend that we keep our support up to date on that.
Is this one also a 3-year renewal?
This is also a 3-year renewal, co-term. That one is actually set to expire in August.
8/23.
Yeah, what's the total price on these, just for transparency? Bring your calculator.
60,
It's about $6,600 bucks, I think.
Yeah,
Roughly.
yep. 65, 83.
We have a line in Cooncat network maintenance, there's a balance of like $47,000 a year.
65, 84, 78.
I'll make a motion that we approve the first quote for the 72 mailboxes for $5,073.62, and the second quote for $1,511.16 for the firewall out of Cooncat.
Have a motion?
I have a second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And then we'll get with you, Dan, I guess, make sure everything's good to go on the meeting recordings before the official.
So we're doing a streaming right now. It's just not public.
Okay.
We're doing a private streaming. This will be our final test.
Okay.
And then the first public streaming would be the next meeting in
Okay.
July.
That's when
June.
Oh.
Wait, it.
Oh, never mind. Then we don't necessarily need to do it, but we can do it on the 25th if you
You're gonna do a
guys.
real life practice.
You guys
Before
wanna do
the
it?
real
So are we gonna have to do anything, or it just comes on at 9 o'clock, or how?
So we need to meet with a couple of people from the meetings here, the meetings in the council, maybe 2 designated individuals that would be willing to click a couple of buttons on the iPad to start that stream.
Sandy, probably would be good to know that as well.
We've already prepped Sandy a little bit.
Okay.
She's
Easy.
taken right to it. It's like no big deal for her.
The only
She
problem
can train
is
us.
there may be a couple meetings that I might not be.
Well, that's why I'm thinking we probably need a couple commissioners and a couple council
Right.
members, because in case one would miss, you gotta have somebody that can turn it on.
Richard's very technical, so we probably.
Perfect. You can train the trainer.
And the trainer.
Got a remote?
Yeah, it's it's an iPad. We tried to set it up to where it's just touch. You do have to plug the cameras in, but they automatically come up. We try to make it as automated as this can be. So we've got a little bit of training, but it's up to you guys if you guys want to go live on the next one or not.
I think it matters to me, whatever.
Let's do it.
Just go, jump in. All
Jump in.
right, so the next one will be live, public.
And we have to be dressed formally or what?
I'm just a local IT guy. I just turn it on. I don't.
Well, I just hate to put ourselves under that kind of scrutiny, don't you?
Why?
It sure is. That's exactly the way the shape of things come. Okay, all right, yeah, we'll go live next time.
Sounds
Ready
great.
to go?
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Angie.
All right, thanks.
Skylar, what have you got today?
So I'm sure you and Catherine are tired of my voice after yesterday, so I'll try to keep
What
it
did
short
you
and
talk
sweet.
about?
It was a long one yesterday. So I was invited to be a part of our region's listening session with Indiana Secretary of Commerce David Adams a few weeks ago. He has been traveling to each of the ready regions as the governor has tasked him by executive order with providing a report with recommendations to realign the economic development and the workforce development regions. So they're different right now. There is some overlap. So some of my economic development region meetings, I'm with some counties and some are in the workforce, some are not. So it is kind of odd and I can understand that. His focus areas that he has been given by the governor are upskilling the incumbent workforce, strengthening existing Indiana businesses, accelerating Main Street innovation and entrepreneurship, empowering Indiana's sector strengths regionally. So my biggest takeaways, and again, this was from a listening session, so everything is still uncertain, you never know. He talked a lot about looking through the lens of talent instead of businesses, because for most businesses to grow or to relocate here, the barrier is workforce. He talked about there being much less of an emphasis on bringing in new companies to Indiana and much more of an emphasis on the companies that we currently have and how we can help them, provide incentives to them to upskill their workforce, to grow and expand here. So I do think there are going to be some changes at the state level and from the IEDC in terms of the incentives that they offer to companies. For us, this is not a huge impact as it is for somewhere like Monroe County or Knox County that has a lot of business attraction opportunities. So I'm excited at the thought of some more focus on our existing businesses and helping them grow a little bit. But there is a little from other counties across the state and in our region, there is definitely some hesitation about the direction this seems to be going. And then powering our regions or powering our sector strengths regionally. He said that he thinks the culmination of his report will end up being that each region is tasked with developing a strategic plan for economic development because they believe that it should come from the region, not from the state to us, because every region is different and we know our strengths and weaknesses. Some of the things he talked about are right now, for example, if I get a request for information from the state, most of the time it goes to every county in the state, regardless of what kind of company it is. And he said from their perspective, that doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense to send a biopharmaceutical manufacturer all across the state when your largest, sector of that would be best in Bloomington or Indianapolis. So they talked about changing how that works. They talked about something that I think we could potentially tap into is looking at our existing industry and employers. So, if we have a Jasper Group in Orleans, for example, who is in their supply chain? Who do they buy things from or work with that could potentially be a smaller operation that we would bring into our region to help them and to have that here more locally. So that might be an area of opportunity that comes up for us as well. So more to come with that. And as you guys know, everything is up in the air and uncertain, but it was definitely an interesting conversation. I have also received the closeout documents for the West Baden Park project from Ready 1.0. So that grant will officially be wrapped up in the next couple of months. I also assisted them to submit a grant application to the Orange County Community Foundation to finish furnishing the new concession stand that was a part of the Ready 1 project. And then we will be hosting several lunch and learns over the next few months. That will include Canva, key principles of business, and AI for small businesses. And so we will push out those dates and details soon to the public to be able to register for those. And that's all I've got.
Right.
Any questions?
Nope.
Thank you for the update.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. Randy, you're up.
I want to report on the opioid settlement mini granting. The deadline was Friday. We had 9 completed applications through the foundation portal. Those 9 totaled an ask of $75,032, which was about 10,000-ish, 15,000-ish below what we thought those would be. So at this point, they look like all of them preliminarily meet the schedule of the opioid. There will be a few that would be considered unrestricted. They may not meet the exact mark exactly, but they fall in the realm. I've got the list if you want me to just kind of tell you who applied, and then we'll kind of move second phase
I thought whoever handled the marketing side of that at the community foundation did a great job. I mean, there's no way you could not have known about it. I mean, I don't know who handles that now out there, but I was gonna tell Christina, they did a great job of constantly putting it out there, trying to get people to apply for it.
So we did a few things. We did the standard, we wrote the article, sent it to what was published for the foundation. The foundation sends all of the newspapers. They did that. Brandon.
Is it Brandon that does it?
Brandon
He does a
did the
great job.
majority of pushing that out on social media. And then our WUME is so great. You know, I did a PSA. That ran for over a month. And it ran several times a day. So we did a really good job of getting it out. I was surprised that we had just 9, which last year we had 10, 1 didn't qualify. So I mean, it's still the same, but you know, and not everybody asked for the total 10,000 apiece. Do you want me to read the list really quick on who applied?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gateway Ministry applied for 10. The Orange County Food Trust applied for $6,332. The Tobacco Prevention applied for 10. The Orleans Food Pantry applied for 3. The Paoli Police Department applied for $7,000. Safe Haven applied for $8,700. SICHC applied for 10. Team Peace applied for 10. And Youth First applied for 10.
That's good.
So the next step is we'll put a kind of an Excel sheet together on who applied for what and what schedule, you know, what's their plan. And then there will be a few decisions you'll have to make, especially with some of those that might be considered more that unrestricted, just to make sure that you want to go in that direction. Preliminarily, they all look pretty good. I don't think there's any issue with what they're wanting to do. There's a few things that I think are pretty unique with the food. The food is medicine, food is prevention medicine, which is kind of interesting. But I'll get that to you. There's going to be some timing issue because the community foundation also has to have a board meeting to approve the funds distribution. So there is some timing on that. I'll let you know what that is, you know, before then. But the plan, I think this date is correct, is to do a check presentation with you after the commissioners meeting, and I believe that's going to be the July 23rd meeting. If not, it'll be the July 9th. I'm pretty certain we set it for July 23rd. So, and that will give the foundation time to have a board meeting at the 1st of July to cut the checks. And I don't know, did we get, at the last commissioner meeting, we had gotten the approval to move the funds to the foundation. Has that been moved yet? Do we know? Showing that she had a doctor's appointment.
We can check with it.
Okay.
We'll check on it.
Sure. Okay. That's the only real, you know, update I think that I have. Unless you have anything different.
Can't think of anything right offhand.
Yep.
All right. As always, good job. Community work can help some folks. So you have Randy?
I think that's it.
Priscilla?
Good morning. I'm going to ask Valerie to chime in with me on this one. Valerie and I have been working on America 250, and we have a lot of cool things happening if you're not busy this Saturday. Excuse me. Team OC is going to go out to Orleans Park and give a taste of what 1700s used to be like. So it doesn't sound great, but it's like corn mush and apple cider, and so we're going to entertain our community that way. And we actually have dresses from the 1700s, a local person made for us that will be in attire. So, for example, Steve, if you came out to visit me, I'm not going to be Priscilla that day. I will be Mary Sue, which is Jeff Lane, a historian out of French Licks, 6th generation grandmother. So a really cool education event for kids and community, and there's going to be a lot of officials out there too. What we'd like to do is if you are open and want the help, Valerie and I would like to work on the event that will happen at the courthouse in November potentially. We'd like to brainstorm and put some things together and then present it to you all. And then if you approve it, then give it to Robert Henderson. Is that okay?
Okay, would that be helpful if we come up
Absolutely.
with something for that?
Yeah, we need something really good.
All right, perfect. So we'll get started on that. Super excited about this one. Paoli Chamber came to me asking me if I would do something for their fall festival. And then at the same time, they were telling me they could not find a band to play at the event. So something I've been wanting to do for a long time is Orange County Youth has talent. I think our talent within our youth is oftentimes not promoted, and we oftentimes don't, as parents or guardians, don't encourage our kids to do this. So super excited about this. We're gonna have a talent contest. I'm working with our web designer now. We're gonna have 8 slots per age category. And the winning performance for say 6 through 11 is $250. Tri Kappa has been our first donor for that one. Lost River LLC will be our second one, so say ages 11 to 15. And then ages 15 to 18, where I've got 2 meetings next week for another donor, but they'll be awarded $250. And then Riverview Farms will be a grand winner, and that group of kids or one person will win $1,000. So can you imagine? I sometimes get emotional about this, but kids don't oftentimes believe in themselves, and so to know that they got talent, and Stevie and I talked about like you almost could have been a country star, like Tanya from the Tucker's psychic, you know? But here we are promoting our talent and our youth. So I'm super excited about that one. Just wanted to share that with you. Suicide Prevention Month is September. Catherine and I would like to ask if we can light up the courthouse that month. We've got a lot of things planned. We're going to do not really a 5K, but we're going to do a walk run around Paoli Park. Along the park, people will be able to make a donation and have someone they've lost photo as a memorabilia. And then also, we'll have necklaces, the colors of who you may have lost. So sibling, parent, etc., spouse. And that way we can build some connections and support within our community.
And it's blue? Blue, the color?
You got blue or purple. Whichever one you may have.
Well, let's get on that so we can make sure, whatever you think we need to, make sure we have. So
We've got blue.
So
we want to make sure it's the right color.
the other cool thing about it is that month will be an education month for Orange County. We're going to partner up with Jamie and do some suicide prevention and education for different like for the community, for schools, for government, and let people be educated on what this is and why it's important to be involved and be aware of signs, etc. And then we are working to get, Davy's been gracious enough, we'll have one sheriff's car wrapped with suicide prevention logo, and that will be revealed at the walk that day. So a lot of good things happening there. Community Resource Day, we did that in year before last. I got funding. I'll sign the MOU. The thing about this is I had to sign to do 2 counties and not just Orange County, but I did get Orange County funding. So we'll have Orange County Resource Day, which you guys all liked last year. We'll present that again and do it for Orange County this year. Team OC did, after my last board meeting, there's so much work to do here in Orange County, and it's such a special place. We are in all 3 school programs, Orange County, Lawrence County, and Crawford County. We are leaving Lawrence County because there's just too much work here to do. So just as an FYI. And then this kind of almost piggybacks on maybe some Skylar's work, but one of the things I've been doing as I've worked with schools is what's our graduation rate? What percent of kids know what they're going to do day 1 after graduation? Is it a trade? Is it something in retail? What is it, college? And the thing that would surprise you is only about 46% know day 1 what they're going to do. So I've been working with 3 different companies. Is almost to Skylar's point, you can't keep bringing companies in. We're not a near airport. We don't have all the resources available. But what we can do is we can bring remote jobs in. So a lot of companies have went, instead of having large office buildings for call centers like Lowe's and Depot, and there's a Fortune 250 finance company I'm working with, that we can bring that to Orange County, or they'll make rooms in homes, actual offices, supplied equipment. And the excitement about this is a lot of our youth are techno savvy, so this might be something they would jump on. And this will provide insurance for the first time ever, 401k, along with other benefits. So it's us trying to break the cycle of what's continuing to happen, and think about tax dollars. That'll bring you in a lot more revenue potentially too.
We have people moving. When I have a new neighbor, him and his wife both moved to Orange County, and the biggest selling point, they wanted to get out of the city, but to have the REMC internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
Yeah.
they built a beautiful home and bought land that had been vacant, forever, and had no ties to Orange County. But it was just the safeness. They loved the low tax rate, and they said the REMC. As soon as they knew what they could get out in the country, it was a deal. I mean,
Yeah, and that's going to be the key. As I've talked to several of these groups, is REMC is just a phenomenal internet company. So you have to have that in order. So, I'll give you an example. Marshall, have you ever had anything installed by a company? You have. So sometimes you'll get a follow-up call, or you have to reach out to them so they would be the organizer, the planner. That's what some of these remote positions do, or it's just customer service. So more to come on that. That's going to be a longer process, but I'm running really hard to get some treadway on that. So
great.
So that's all I have. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions? All right. Thank you very much. Unusual, good job. Haley? Anything?
Not today.
I'll
Not
figure it
today.
over
Just
here.
busy.
That's why I read through words a little bit.
I'll figure who you are one of these days.
Well, one day she won't be here.
You'll have
to. Val, you've already been up. You don't have anything else to talk about?
No.
Okay. Jenny?
Hi. I have something to give you here real quick. I'm glad I get to come back to Orange County.
We haven't seen you for a while.
I know. Keep busy, so. I am here today to discuss, after some long discussions with Marshall, owner-occupied rehab.
So Jenny and I have been talking
Yes,
6
thank
months
you.
probably,
Thank you so
I
much.
would say, back and forth on this and so forth. She thought it was best, and I asked her to come to, we've already officially approved this, but she's going to explain how it's going to work to pursue the grant, what Region 15 will have involved. And Jenny and I have been friends forever. We worked together about 20 years ago, so we've known each other for a few years. So I'm glad to have you today.
I am so glad to be back here. So, owner-occupied rehab is a program that has run through the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority for many, many years. In recent years, the Office of Community and Rural Affairs has taken over this program and has made it part of their community development block grant program. They have funded this for the foreseeable future. It kind of came about as a pilot program, and then also as part of the HELP program, the Futures Enduring Legacy program. Du Bois County participated in that program, as well as a couple other local counties have also participated. Those funds are wrapping up and will be done with the HELP program at the end of this year. But last year is when really the owner-occupied kicked off in our area. We've had a couple communities really pushing us to do this program. And out of our office, I was the most people-y person, and I like dealing with people, and everybody laughs that I know somebody everywhere I go, and I do, and I love that. But this program, I think, is a fantastic opportunity for our area, and for homes across the state, honestly. Owner-occupied rehab is available at a city level, city-town level, and also at a county level. Cities and towns can apply for up to $350,000. Counties as a whole can apply for up to $500,000. Owner-occupied rehab is based on your low to moderate income percentages. The new numbers took effect on June 1. Those are listed down here at the bottom of your page. So for a single person household in Orange County, the income limit is $50,300.
Which is high,
That is
obviously, for our
very
average
high.
income.
Yeah, that is fantastic. So the other number I like to give to folks is a 4-person household. That's the typical household that a lot of people think of. $71,850. That is an amazing number for the county. Owner occupied rehab can go in and do 5 areas in the home. You can do roof replacement, it can do HVAC replacement, which is 2 of the most costly things that you can have done to your home. Just replaced my own air conditioner, learned to cry a little bit. Water heater replacement, it can do lighting and electrical upgrades. A lot of homes have knob and tube wiring or the cloth cover wiring, outlets that aren't grounded, they might not have the GFCI protected outlets. In a lot of older homes, you may not even have a light in the central part of the home. It may just be lamps around the in the exterior of your room. And it can also do ADA accessibility up to the threshold of the home. Ramps, handrails, if your door needs to be widened to be able to get a wheelchair in, that can be taken care of as well through this program. The restrictions for the program, if the county would pursue it, you have to live within the county limits. If somebody from Washington County is really interested, I'm sorry, their county would have to apply on their own. Even if you have an address of something in Orange County, you would have to apply in the county in which you reside. You have to own and live in the home. It can't be a home that you are buying on contract. It can't be a rent home or a home that you yourself rent out. You actually have to live in it. Home cannot be in a floodplain. We all know where those floodplain areas are in the county. And it cannot be a single wide trailer. The reasoning for that is they want the funds to be able to stay where the improvements are made. With a single wide trailer, you can pick it up and still move it to wherever it needs to be. This program is highly, 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 if I could stress that, competitive. It needs lots and lots and lots of residential support. I know we have we have some great folks on your side here in the county, and they are more than willing to drum up support for this program. So we will have a required public hearing. We also have to have a survey of residents, letters of support from residents, anybody that is willing to speak out and say, we need this program in Orange County and here's why. It makes the case to the state as to why Orange County deserves this funding more than any other county. If you flip over to the back side of your paper.
I have one quick question.
Yes, sir.
On the stipulations here on
Yes.
what has to happen to be able to be eligible, is there once if the grant is granted, is there a time limit on how long they would have to keep that property?
That is something you can put in place as a county. It is not mandated by the state. Some places have opted to go into, yes, we have some liens and restrictive covenants put in place. Other places have said, you know, we don't want having to stay in this area as a hindrance to someone getting, if work changes, if they have a family member dies and they have to move, or if they have to move to take care of a family member. That is something that you can put in place. We can discuss that, in the development of this as we move forward, but it is not a requirement to put that in place.
Because I'm sure what you're thinking, we're not looking to support someone that's gonna flip a house and
Yes.
make money on it. We want it to be people
That's
that's going to
the
get
first thing that
habit.
comes up is a lot. And a lot of that is the question that people are like, I don't want to support flipping these homes. But what I have seen thus far, these aren't family homes. These are folks that want to stay in your community. They want to be a part of this community. And this may be the thing that helps them stay here a little longer. Before I have you flip, sorry, on the first page, there are extra points given in the development of the application if you prioritize 4 areas. So when we develop the scoring of how, once applications are submitted to the county by the homeowners, if you would prioritize individuals with disabilities, if you had those aging in place, so those that are identified as elderly, if you have an elderly individual living in the home, veterans, and single parent head of household, whether that is parent, guardian, grandparent, whoever is listed as that single parent head of household. If you prioritize those 4 groups, you actually get some bonus points to your application. And that really, really helps to go a long way with the competitiveness of this program. So on the back, this program has become very, very popular. It is accepted quarterly. And the first opening that we have actually in my schedule is Q4 of this year. I'm actually booked out through Q3 of 2026 now that Orange County has taken this spot in the fall. Applications open up on October 14th and are due on November 14th. It is a very short application window, but the good thing about that is then they are awarded by December 22nd. So if that moves forward, that would be a fantastic Christmas present. City of Tell City got that same Christmas present last year, and we are really hoping that that can come to Orange County this year.
Well, I think we have we have several people in the room. We have great partnerships here.
We do.
And what I found, my mom's on the town board in French Lick, and they're going for this. But they don't, and I don't mean no disrespect, but they don't have all the partnerships. You and the town board have been leading it, and that's it,
Yes.
really. And I
Yes.
think that's where we can really shine, the partnerships we have, like I said, right in this room alone.
And I have presented this, like you said, French Lake applied, and they will find out later this month if they were funded. I've been in talks with Paoli. They are looking into pursuing an application probably next year. So, there are a couple communities in the county themselves that are interested in this funding. But as a county as a whole, we are the first county in our 6-county region that is looking to pursue this program.
Awesome.
My question was, just for my clarification, so as the county applying and in terms of the public support, that support has to come from, and to be eligible, they can't live in the town. Is that right?
That is something that you would have to do if you want to make it as a county as a whole. You can do it as those that live only in the unincorporated areas and the towns apply on their own. That's totally up to you. That's something that we can discuss, in the development of this application.
I got that question recently
Yeah.
because of you guys being interested and French Lake applying and Paoli being interested about so does the counties only apply to outside the towns, or is
The
that also?
incorporated,
Yeah.
the municipalities.
Well, that would probably depend on if French Lick Town gets it, then it probably ought to run through French Lick Town first, but if they don't get it awarded, then there probably should not be a stipulation on
At the end of the day, I guess what I think, we provide service to county, but everyone pays county taxes.
Right.
Yeah.
We represent everyone.
So that's the discussion that, that we need to have sooner rather than later. But that it is something you can think about for now, and we can decide on that.
Well, if you two are all right, what I'd like to do is maybe set up a committee, and I can be part of that and get some of our partners involved, and we get rolling on it, and then make some recommendations. But I think we have time to be proactive and really build something good before that time. And we got some grant a lot, but some of the data you need, we already have that data. There's a lot of things, and I think you're not going to be out there, being proactive on this alone. You're going to be surprised at how much support you're going to have.
I'm very excited for it. I will tell you that when we started publicizing this for French Lick, I put it out there that, hey, we're making a list of homeowners that are interested. In a week's time, I had close to 20 people that had reached out. But at the end of the time that we had the whole process open, and when I had submitted the application, I had 42 people that had reached out for more information. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and there are that's of those that actually lived in French Lake itself.
Now, how did they find out about it?
Social media.
Okay.
She's been,
Social
I was gonna
media.
say, I've seen her a lot.
Okay.
I have really. I'm a member of all of the top pages. I've posted everywhere that I can think of. We've tried to share it as much as possible, but the response from actually out in the county has been really good as well.
And I've had several calls
Yeah,
as well.
there have been a lot of folks that have reached out. Hey, I live just outside town limits. Do I still qualify? And I said, no, sorry. And there was one that I think when I finally got down to looking at where does county and then where are they were a lot over from, yeah. So they were very close. There were several folks that lived back behind golf course in French Lake that I pay are close enough, the interest is there already, just because of the French Lake application, so.
Okay, so my understanding is you're gonna spearhead this.
Yep. So you and I can get
You brought it
together,
to
but
the
I think
table.
we're ready. I
It's
think
Marshall's
we're ready.
idea. You brought it to Steve and I.
Yes,
We thought
and
it was a great
with your
plan.
support, and then already talking with Catherine has been fantastic, and I am really excited to get this.
And we've officially, we're ready to go with the
Awesome.
full support of the commissioners and council, so.
Great, I will reach out to you then, and we'll get some time set up, and we'll get together.
All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you all so much.
All right, thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
Garland, you want to speak? It says no. Okay, all right. Missy, you weren't on the list.
I come late. I didn't sign in, but I don't have anything. Just wanted to come
Okay, I
join
just
you
want to
this
leave you.
morning.
All right. Okay. That concludes our audience portion.
Lonnie, did you have anything?
So we got an environmental meeting for today. If we can recess the meeting at the end of this one and go into that one, that would be great.
I know.
Yeah, we'll do it right after.
Okay, yeah.
He's got interviews, so we got one.
All right, yeah, that'd be fun. All right, sorry about that, I didn't mean to.
No, I was late.
Okay. Counselor, what have you got today?
Thank you, Richard. I have a few items, the first of which is a certification for redistricting. Recent legislation requires each local government unit to certify to the respective clerk of the circuit court whether redistricting is required. The certification must be filed with the clerk by June 30th, 2025. Because all members of the Orange County Board of Commissioners are elected in at-large voting by all of the voters of Orange County, redistricting is not required. I have prepared the certification for approval and signature by commissioners today. I'll
We've
need
already
two
reviewed it.
signed.
I'll make a motion that we approve.
Right. Have motion and second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And then Sandy, I will take those to be filed. Okay. And get you the file stamp copy. We'll do that today. We've got a few others to do. The next item I have is a proposed amendment to the Orange County, Indiana Personnel Policy Handbook dated March 19, 2025, page 14, Article 4, Leave, Section 5, Disability and Maternity Leave, to add a Section F, and it will state, with respect to maternity leave, the county may allow accommodations on a case-by-case basis for employees that are licensed and that provide essential services for the county under the authority of a designated county official, which cannot be temporarily replaced, for commissioners' consideration today. Thank you.
Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The public hearing to consider the resolution assigning tax sale certificates for 2 parcels of property located in Orange County that the county desires to assign to the Indiana Uplands Regional Land Bank, a 501c3 nonprofit corporation, for their use in developing and placing back on the tax rolls for the county, has been moved to June 25th at 9:05 a.m. Sandy has sent the required notice to the papers, and that will be set at the next commissioners meeting.
Okay.
The only other item I have is I would like to introduce my nephew, Sam Brown. He's interning at the office this summer and working there 2 days a week. He is a Lanesville graduate. He just graduated in 2025, and he's going to be attending Ivy Tech in the fall and pursuing criminal justice there. So he's at the office 2 days a week, helping out, which is great. That's all I have for commissioners today.
All right.
Thank you.
You You come prepared to speak?
Nobody ever
Always
was.
like we're on the
Yes,
spot.
yes.
Thank you, nice to meet you. Madam Auditor, what have you got today?
Just a couple things real quick. I think we did this last year. This is just the state comptroller's office sent us. It's just certifying that we have 0 covered bridges in the county. And they want us to sign this and send it back. So, and I've confirmed that with Carl. No covered bridges.
Motion to sign?
Motion.
Second.
Motion to second, all in favor?
Aye.
The only other thing I have, oh, you're fine. The only other thing I have is the Reedy financial, they have like the scope of business. And the only reason I think they're sending this addendum, it's kind of like an addendum, and Tucker's office has looked over at what they've added. When we first approached them on helping me with year-end closing and all that stuff, we've also, like I had $7,000 left over from the money that was out, you said I could use or in the council. So they had to add the budget part in here. And then they've also added, like, if you guys with the new Senate Bill 1 would like to, or, you know, if you would like them to advise you on any of that. So they also added that to the bottom. And this is just saying, if you would want to use it, they've got mine up to 10,000. I'm sure I won't even probably use the 7 that I have, but if I even have leftover what I have, we could use it towards helping us in the council maybe make decisions for 2026. But anyway, but the main thing I think I would need you to sign it for me is because we need to add the budget part for me to help for this year or for the upcoming budget for 2026. I have leftover funds to do that.
Okay, what we'd like to do, I'd like to set a joint session, I talked to Mr. Brown, Zach Brown about this as well. I'd like to set a joint session for the 19th, beginning at 4:30. I believe Carl's got a gentleman that wants to come and speak to the body regarding the new highway laws, rules and regs. And I thought we could collectively, then we can all discuss the reading.
Okay.
It is coming, well, the 19th, I think.
Okay. Joint.
Joint session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do the notice of special joint meeting and it just has to be posted.
No time. Beginning time at 4:30
4:30 on June 19th in council meeting room.
in the council meeting room.
That's all I have.
Okay. And what's that gentleman's name that's going to be coming to speak?
Pat Connor from LTAP, Indiana LTAP.
He's basically going to be walking us through all the new rules and regs and that kind of stuff, so everybody will be on the same page.
That's what the new road funding bill looks like. They dissected it a lot, starting to understand it a little bit. It's just information on the commissioners and the council so they can have all the information to make the decision on things.
Okay. And then you'll be prepared to talk about what areas you want to utilize in this thing in your proposal.
And I could even ask Rudy, would you want Rudy to come and let them give their report on what they've learned?
Okay.
I mean, I could see if they're available, I don't know.
It's up to you.
The council want to hear this?
I think it would be beneficial to hear what everybody knows.
Let's do that.
All right, see what I can, see if I can get somebody here.
Sounds good. That way, if any questions, they can be addressed. Anything else? No. Okay. Steve, you have anything?
I don't have anything to do.
Mark? Nothing. Have nothing. Okay, we've got interviews beginning at 10:30. This is to replace the veteran service officer. We've got 5 people to interview. And we'll be working out of this room to do that.
Oh, yeah, we gotta, the copper, we gotta bring that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, the other thing, what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
I thought you were saying the mail.
Okay, we have, when the courthouse was repaired, we put a completely new roof on it. That roof is solid copper, the one that came off of is solid copper. So we, anyway, we salvaged the copper, we processed it, put it out there at our building. We've got it stored out there, and we're going to declare that of no value, and then we're gonna sell that. And the reason we're gonna sell that is we're talking about a new flagpole at the courthouse. It'll be a 70-foot flagpole. And the reason is, it's 250th birthday coming up. We thought that would be appropriate to do that. We've got something old, something new. So anyway, we're gonna use that money as an offset on the cost of the flagpole, which we need to address today as well. So
I would just make sure, I don't know what we've received from the insurance company, I would just make sure they're not planning to come and, you know, if they left it, that's what you want to make sure, because technically that
there
was.
is no,
Okay.
no, there's no holes on it.
Okay.
Which surprises me.
Yeah, because usually they take.
With that solid copper, you know, we're talking probably somewhere near 5,000 pounds or better.
Do you want something in writing from them?
Don't we need to open that crate or not?
You know, I mean, if the claim's closed, is the claim closed?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
They
if
have
the
that.
claim's closed, I think we do. I'll make a motion that we recycle it for whatever the value you can work out and get.
That's your no value
Yep.
motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're hoping that pays a big portion of it, stick into the flagpole, let's go and talk about that. Now, there is some significant historical value to the old flagpole as well. That flagpole, for those that don't know, was brought in, we got that from the Navy in 1917, I remember it well. And it was donated to the county right after World War I. So we're not gonna just throw that thing in a scrap heap somewhere, we're gonna try to utilize it in another area. So that's, one way to think that we just think it's of no value, but it is. We wanted something substantial to put there on that flagpole, and it's a new aluminum flagpole that then has to be maintained, and you know, the white one up here, the one we got now, occasionally needs maintenance, and it's hard to do at 55 feet high.
And we're looking at replacing it with a 70-foot, correct?
That is correct. The pricing we have,
Very much.
from Louisville Flagpole Company, Louisville Flags, actually, their pricing is $24,500, and it do not exceed an additional $1,500 if they encounter a lot of rock, because that thing has to be buried like deep in the ground to contain that kind of height, so it doesn't blow over. So that could be, the stated bid's $24,500, with the possibility of a $1,500 addition to that.
I mean, we got, what, 3 other bids? I think they had the best bid.
Three quotes.
Or 3 quotes, yes.
This is the National Flag Company. Their quote was $33,227. And then flagpoles, etc. Their bid was $28,514.87. So there's no reason we can't act on this, is there? I mean,
No, you got 3 quotes, so.
I make a motion that we go forward with the lowest bidder for the 70-foot Louisville Flag Company.
Well, second.
And pay out a Coon Cap or Casino
Well,
Pop.
whatever the overage would be, or
Yeah.
beyond
Coon Cap.
what our copper sale amounts to. We've been selling the copper quite a while, we've been waiting on the price to get it. It's over $2.50 a pound. We've been kind of waiting on it to get back to $3 a pound.
And you said we had what? Pounds?
5,000 to 6,000 pounds, I was told, when they took it off by the contractor. So that would go a long way in taking care of the cost. All good, I guess. And I think, one thing I don't want to say, Sheriff, is, you might, now that we've got this fire training center nailed down, we really need to start working on the county firing range, county shooting range. If you coordinate with the sheriff, and of course Carl's gonna be knee-deep alligators here very soon, all the work is coming up. Hear what we might need to do to get that off the ground and get it going.
Appreciate it.
I think we set aside 2 acres for your use out there. And I believe you already had a plat of what Matt showed in the area to be. So, it's something we need to keep going, and that's, you're gonna make that available for the entire county, is that correct? Other than that, I don't think I have anything.
We better look into our insurance before we get too far in that as well.
I hate insurance. He always wants to rain on your parade, you know? Okay, well, I forgot about that. I'm glad you reminded me. I'm gonna appoint an insurance committee, and this insurance committee will be responsible to evaluate the insurance that we presently have in the county.
Property and casualty insurance.
Right, all of it, anything. So, Marshall's gonna head that up.
You need another.
And, the other members will be Alan Wainick, Chad Hager, and Zach Brown. And their job will be to evaluate what we got, and also to begin a process of trying to find more affordable insurance. Our insurance went up over $120,000 this year, canceled by EMC. So that's gonna be their task, is to try to find us something affordable, comparable to what we got. I think that covers everything.
I make a motion that we adjourn, or what is it, for our environmental?
Are you done with the commissioners meeting?
Yes.
Just adjourn, yep.
Adjourn and then go into the environmental meeting.
Second.
All right, Lonnie.
Second, all in favor,
You wanna get
signify by
started, because we got time.